Thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, Bitcoin craziness. On the weekly chart, we said the bulls need this level back at 39,000 to avoid downside. And we've seen downside and then an epic bounce today for the Bitcoin bulls. Understand that a downtrend by nature is a series of lower lows and lower highs. And so Bitcoin has been in a downtrend. So you have essentially your low, your high, your lower low, your lower high, your lower low. Even though Bitcoin had this epic bounce, ran up to almost 40,000, which we talked about as a double bottom possibility, epic bounce. A lot of people made a ton of profits off that idea. You still, this high right here, based on this candle close, it's not a higher high. This hasn't, essentially you have this expanding, broadening, falling wedge, right? Assume this price action continues in the pattern until it doesn't. You want to see this, you need a double bottom down here or a higher low, right? Where this low is higher than previous low, and that would give you this inverse head and shoulders idea. Right? The bulls got to break 39,000. They got to break the ceiling. They got to break the ceiling. Otherwise, there's downside ideas. So the most important thing to pay attention to is that this next low, you need on the 2-hour chart, you need essentially, imagine this, shoulder, head, shoulder, bullish idea, right? The bulls need a bounce. The bulls need a bounce here. Why did Bitcoin bounce like this? Why did it bounce so hard? The SPX did the same thing, and it's right at overhead resistance. I'll come back to this in just a second. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my trading group. This person nailed the 2-hour double bottom. We talked about this multiple times on the channel, multiple times in group. Double bottom as a possibility. The higher low was one idea, didn't happen. Rolled over, double bottom, and you had the epic bounce to the upside for Bitcoin. 93% gains in a day. This is the Bitcoin 1-hour chart, the double bottom with your bear trap, double bottom banging. Nailed it. This person, rounded bottoms, pay the bills. Alice, he made 2,500 on one trade, another trade for 1,200, and another trade for 1,000. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, exactly. This person said, came into this market with $6,500, and now I'm at $600,000. That's, imagine you come into this market $6,500 and you've got 600 G's. Trading with this profits. When you're trading with house money, the game changes. You're not emotionally attached to this money. You didn't go work for it, right? I can get you to this point. You don't start here. If you're not making a ton of money right now in this market, I can help you. I'll make sure you're in the best, most profitable trading setups. Right now, for a limited time, there's a New Year's special. You get $100 off and 60% off the regular prices. Remember, you go over to the website, cryptorev.net. It pays for itself. It's a no-brainer, cryptorev.net. If you go down into the description of this video, there's a link take you directly to this website. Remember, if you have any questions, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. Bitcoin CME futures, 4 hours. So you have this pullback. We talked about this idea. This is a bear flag, right? Banging. It came down here. What I want you to pay attention to is previously the price action ran up to this level at about 38,500, got rejected. Ran up here, got rejected, right? So and then ran up here and got rejected. Now you have this epic bounce out of Bitcoin. That same level, the same level is the ceiling still, right? Bitcoin, amazing bounce. Because of the SPX, right? All this turmoil going on in the Ukraine, let's look at what's going on with China. So, breaking, the Taiwan Defense Ministry says 9 Chinese military aircraft entered its air defense identification zone. So, China wants Taiwan back. Then Biden comes out today and said, we're working with allies to give sanctions. They're going to tighten sanctions on Russia. Russian stock market is getting completely destroyed. The stocks are down tremendously. Global scale, everybody's trying to cut Russia off financially. So Russia, their currency is at an all-time low. They've got sanction on the banks, about $1 trillion in sanctions. Every American asset is frozen from Russia, but not Putin personally. New sanctions don't cut off Russian access to SWIFT financial system. There's 7,000 new troops being deployed to Europe from the Pentagon. Our forces are going to defend our allies, but not the Ukraine. So the United States is not trying to go to World War III here. They're not. There's no cyber war, but they do expect Kiev to fall in the next few hours. So again, this is chaotic for the stock market, but the SPX did bounce. But the most important thing here is, like, you've got this previous support, double bottom, short-term upside. This is the floor. Now it's the ceiling. If the bulls can't break above here, I mean, essentially this thing could easily just roll over, come down here. This is a macro downtrend where every low is lower than the previous low and every high is too. So this continuing to the downside is not amazing for Bitcoin. This thing needs to break out above this resistance, at least get, if we get some type of pullback and higher low or double bottom, so short-term downside and then upside, so you get this move to the upper trend line. That would give an upside idea, short-term upside idea out of Bitcoin, but immediate downside is possible. Yesterday, we talked about DYP, gem pick banger, and some downside. Bitcoin pulls back, you're going to get some downside, but when this thing pops, it's going to explode. And guess what happened? Bang, and this thing's up 34% from when I made the video, but after Bitcoin rolled over, it's up, it was at one point, it was up 48%. This thing's been pump city. These coins that I talk about move quickly. You have to take advantage of this. There's a VIP Kucoin link in the description. Gem pick bangers. Let's go. Ethereum. We said somebody hit Ethereum 100x, which is crazy leverage, but they hit it for 1,800% profits. Ethereum had this pullback like we talked about, was highly possible, and then support bounce, perfect one. And again, came up here and now needs to hold this level. Needs the same level we're talking about over here. You need the bulls to show up. Otherwise, a breakdown here gives you an inverse head and shoulders or double bottom. This breaks and it's just more downside, right? So it's really up to the bulls. You have all this uncertainty in the United States, but it's important that you understand the greatest possibilities in this market going forward. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comment box. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.